We'll be right back after this short break. And welcome back to our final segment on this Thursday edition of the Hagmann Report. We're joined by our guest, Sean, from SGT Report. You can find him at SGT Report on Twitter as well as SGT Report on YouTube. He's been making waves on YouTube for a long time now with great research and information. Sean, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. I hope I'm prepared enough. I always try to be prepared when I come on your show.
Well, should we just stand back and let you go?
No. Let's have a conversation because, I was preparing a list of things I wanted to talk to you about, and then I checked in on my Twitter, and I just completely went off on another track with these vaccines. I got to tell you, man, we are under, everybody knows, but we are under a full assault by this satanic New World Order, and they are targeting our families, and they've been targeting our economy and our dollar. Two-parent working homes don't cut it anymore. The middle class is dying, and they're targeting us with these damn vaccines. And the CDC knows the truth. And so that's sort of my right shoot. This is not even where I intended to go tonight. I have a whole other thing I want to talk to you guys about, but I am just so sick to my stomach. I tweeted out today, follow me on Twitter at SGT Report, and I wrote, as a father of kids who suffer from vaccines, I wish we, my wife and I, could rewind time and never allow those kids to get a single jab. And I implore new parents, research the dangers of vaccines, watch the documentary Vaxxed, please educate yourself, because ADHD, autism, and Asperger's are lifetime sentences for the parents and for the kids who suffer from those afflictions. And my heart really goes out. I had a reply here I want to share with you guys. This comes from Dana Elizabeth, 1969 on Twitter. Hashtag Vax, she writes, I wish I had never had my son vaccinated. He now has autism. It's hell on earth. At CDC whistleblower, at Tucker Carlson, at vaccines can cause harm, she writes. Why is Roundup, glyphosate, guys, in vaccines? Glyphosate causes cancer. The autism epidemic is greater than most diseases combined, and there's no help. And she's right. There is no help. And my heart goes out to these people who have kids with full-blown autism, because I have one with Asperger's, and it's so hard when you have a child who you love who can't sustain relationships and make friends because of the damage that I know was done because I was so stupid. Back when he was a baby, I allowed him to get the vaccines. And at that point, they were still filled with thimerosal, loaded to the gills with the mercury, and the CDC knew, and they still know, and they're allowing these babies to get these shots. I'm just out of my mind angry, which leads me to the segue of where I wanted to open, and I'll turn it back to you guys, but Oprah donated $500,000 to the Florida Students' March. $500,000 for a march? For what? So they can get together and walk in the streets and what? So she can help them make signs?
George Clooney did $1 million.
These people are aligned against us. And I want you to remember the Good Club meeting that Oprah had with her buddies, George Soros, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett? I bookmarked the article, and I don't know where I put it now. Like I said, I wanted to be more prepared here, but I am just fit to be tied because I'm sick and tired of being targeted by these people. And when I say these people, I mean these monsters, some of whom I'm not sure even have souls, because I don't know how they sleep at night. Because I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I know we're being targeted with poisonous vaccines, with toxic food, with fluoride in our water, and now with 5G. We are being absolutely targeted for decimation, for depopulation, and I, for one, am sick and tired of it. And everybody who's listening to this better get off their chairs, get your butt off your chair, and take action. Because time is running out. Guys, I'm sorry I'm so fired up, but you have to understand, I have my hands full with 4 kids, two of whom are vaccine damaged, and it takes me a long time. I always try to be prepped for these types of interviews, which takes me out of the game with my family, and we're going through some stuff tonight, kind of on the edge of tears here, because I'm worn out. And I know a lot of people in this country are worn out. Again, 2-parent working homes. Take us away from the kids. The kids are latchkey kids. You don't have enough money to make ends meet. We're all worn out by this system that has been built to defeat us and defeat the family. And I'm sick of it.
We together are right there with you. We are sick of it. We are sick of this crap that's going on. And this, folks, is reality. You've got children. You've got children that are adversely impacted by the garbage. This is a planned depopulation, and I'm so sick and tired of these. And I'm going to use the word again: the morons. Well, no, you know what? They're not morons. They're evil creatures who have set out to do this intentionally. And then you've got you. Okay, I can hear it in your voice. I can sense it. I understand what you're going through. And a lot of people listening to this can relate to what you're going through. So you just keep on spilling it and let it go. Talk from your heart, because this is what it's all about. This is the reality of 2018.
Well, look, before I move off this vaccines thing, because I implore any young parent or new parent, if you're listening to this, please consider my words to you, my words of experience and my knowledge and my research in this area to be a gift. Because if you have just embarked on maybe the first round of shots, or you're lucky enough that your wife is just now pregnant and you haven't had your baby, please, I'm begging you, look into this. Look into thimerosal, which is a mercury-based preservative that has been used for decades in the United States in multi-dose vials of vaccines.
And I think Dr. Ted Brewer calls it thimerosal. That's the same thing. So
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Thimerosal, it's spelled Thimerosal. It's mercury. Go and look at the YouTube videos about what mercury does to a brain. And then ask yourself, why is that in the vaccines? And if you're lucky enough to be hearing my voice and you have not yet vaccinated your children, look into it and watch the documentary Vaxxed. Because as that wonderful woman who retweeted or tweeted back to me, Dana Elizabeth 1969 said, her son now has autism. It's hell on earth. And I too wonder who? I don't want to I really have tried to maintain some privacy in my life. And so this has never been about me. I don't go out there with my full name. I want to be a civic activist, a political activist, excuse me, and somebody who speaks truth. But I require some level of privacy in my own life, because this was never going to be for me about cult of personality. It was about the passion for the message. It was about the passion. When I got started in this, guys, it was about speaking up against Dick Cheney and George Bush and Donald Rumsfeld, who took us into illegal wars of aggression based on total lies. They conflated 9/11, and we marched into Iraq. And how many millions of people died as a result of that? And then we went into Afghanistan. How many millions of people are dead because of that? And we're still there. And guess what now? We have an opium problem in this country. Guess where the opium's coming from? I am sick and tired of this. And everybody who's listening, especially if you're a young person, please heed my warning, because now they've got 5G breathing down our necks here. And I tweeted on Wednesday, our top priority behind exposing Clinton treason, that's Hillary Clinton's treason specifically, Bill's a bad guy too, but Hillary is chief demon of the universe, and pedogate, we must be exposing the extreme dangers of 5G. And I just interviewed my friend Deborah Tavares for the second time. Her website is stopthecrime.net, and the name of that interview is Kill Grid, 5G Networks, and Frequency Warfare. Have you guys been following the 5G issue? Because it's starting to roll out in earnest, and the plan is absolutely, in my opinion, diabolical.
Yeah, I've done minimal research on the 5G and the physical, mental, and other effects that it has on people. It's something we really need to have a much more in-depth study on. And Deborah Tavares is also coming on our show. She's been on before. Very informative. But yeah, if you want to give us like just a basic outline
and tell us where we can find the video you did on this as well. But go ahead.
Yeah, so it's Deborah Tavares, and the name of her website is stopthecrime.net. And after I interviewed her, I was so moved by not only her passion and her activism, but her intelligence and articulation of these issues that I forwarded her name and phone number and contact information to your producer, John. And a shout out to John Robertson, who I know is doing such a great job for you guys and on Twitter. And I'm just so buoyed by the fact that our community, and it really has become a community, both on YouTube and across the sphere, but this truth media space is eating CNN's lunch. Have you guys seen the latest tweet? Who did I see this tweet from today? It'll come to me, but I saw a tweet today, might have been Kim.com, who said that the top 25 cable news shows, in the top 25, there's only one represented by CNN. Most of the rest is Fox News. There's one or two from MSNBC. There's only one in the top 25, and it's Anderson Cooper's 360 or whatever, and it's number 21. Nobody is listening to the Mockingbird mainstream CIA media anymore. And you know who's at the head of the pack? You got Sean Hannity, who has become, to a large degree, a truth teller, and Tucker Carlson's number 2. So behind those guys, then, you have a bunch of other, mostly Mockingbirds, but then you have people in the community that I would describe as the truthers, like you guys and so many others that you have on your show. And I'm so buoyed by the fact that this community exists. But let me read this quote from FCC.
Sean, I just want to say this. I will take you by I will walk with you side by side. We'll walk together. We will fight this fight. We will always stick together. We can win on the numbers. We have to stay together. And this is not a pep talk. This is reality, because we need to fight the crap that is coming against us. It's coming against you. I mean, you're beat up. You're tired. You've had it. We've had it. Look, we stick together. And I just want to say that, and we're behind you on 100%. Go ahead with your quote on that.
Amen. Thanks, Doug. And you know what? Here's the thing. I am still loaded with energy, and I'm loaded with energy for this fight, because this is a righteous fight. And so I really wanted to lead tonight with a little bit about Q, because I did say in that tweet that our third priority behind exposing Clinton, treason, and pedogate would be talking about 5G and exposing it. So in that spirit, I do want to just read this one tweet from March 6th from Q, which is says number 854, but that's on QAnonPosts.com. I'm not sure how they catalog these, but they're chronological. And this post from Q came out on March 6th, and it reads, "Is the stage set for a drop of HRC +++ raw vid 55. You may have talked about this with other guests, but HRC is Hillary Rodham Clinton. He says, "We have it all, the nail in many coffins, impossible to defend, toxic to those connected. We must work together." That's the part I wanted to share with you guys. We must work together. Those of you who are listening, you are part of the fight. We are fighting for you, Q says. Evil surrounds us all, dark to light. We have to expose these vampires. And so this sort of coded, mysterious post from Q, which suggests that they have video of HRC Hillary Rodham Clinton, which you guys will recall the NYPD insiders said they saw video on Wiener's laptop that brought grown men to cry. And so the inference was that it was allegedly Hillary and possibly Huma, but Hillary specifically, involved in an activity that brought grown men to cry. Now, I guess I don't know exactly what that activity might be, but given the allegations of Pizzagate and Pedogate and child sex trafficking in Haiti, which now Q is posting about almost daily, look into the Clinton Foundation, look into Laura Silsby, look into the known, on the record, trafficking of children out of Haiti after the earthquake, when Laura Silsby was caught at the border trying to traffic out 33 children, and she got busted, who came to her aid, the Clintons, Clinton Foundation. This stuff is known and on the board. So if there is a God in heaven, and I know there is, then may that video please be released as soon as possible. I think this stuff with Q is extremely important, and so does Jerome Corsi. So I just wanted to mention that, guys, because, again, number one priority for me, exposing Hillary Clinton, DNC, treason and corruption, and probably their likely involvement in the murder of Seth Rich, the WikiLeaks whistleblower, according to Kim.com, who Robert Mueller refuses to talk to, even though Kim.com and his lawyers have reached out now twice officially. He says he has information about who the leaker was, and then he has basically come right out and explicitly stated that it was Seth Rich, and he knows it, and Robert Mueller will not have the conversation with Kim.com. Question, why? Why? Because this whole system is now set up to target our sitting president, who is the last stop defense between us and absolute communist despotism. So that's what's going on. Clinton treason number 1, pedogate number 2, and 5G number 3. FCC Tom Wheeler said, quote, "There are 200,000 cell towers in the United States. but there may be millions of small cell sites in the 5G future. And boy, was he foaming at the mouth when he said that. They don't want to do the studies about the health-related issues with 5G. The studies that have been done, they don't want to release. This whole thing is being steamrolled ahead. It's been fast-tracked, and now these systems are rolling out in communities near you. I want to play this clip. 5G and transhumanism. You can find this on YouTube from airplanetruth.info. I posted this at my site, thephaser.com. The name of the video is 5G and transhumanism. Your life will never be your own again. Guys, do you want to hear this? It goes, let's see, 112 to 240. It's about 1:15. Here it comes. Let me know if you don't hear this right away. Here it comes.
So this is the Internet of Things. It's going to be radiating from everywhere. You're not going to want to be in a near city. You're not going to want to be your nearest suburb. And it's going to be slow broiling us.
Sean, the volume's a little low.
They can boil us. We are bait.
Yeah, it sounds low to me, too.
Talking about the Internet of Things, which is, I'm very familiar with the Internet of Things. It is the plan to connect every and anything to the Internet, whether it's your Fitbits to your toaster, your shoes to your front door, and everything, and anything in between.
It ship everything as well. Now, if I play this again, I tried to boost the volume on my side. Can you guys also boost the volume on your side?
We got Eric the Tech at the ready here. Go ahead and all right. Go ahead.
Thank you. Here it comes again. I rebooted it here. I've got this Mac laptop. I swear, if you just accidentally you just tweak this mouse pad and it goes crazy.
I know.
This is the Internet of Things. It's going to be radiating from everywhere. You're not going to want to be in a near city. You're not going to want to be your nearest suburb. And it's going to be slow broiling us. These things have so much radiation they can boil us. We are basically water beings. It can heat us up and fry us. And they're opening up a huge electronic magnetic spectrum as well in millimeters, really, really tiny microwaves. So we went from the 1G, 2G, 4G, but the 5G is so much more. They make it sound like it's just the next step. No, it's 2,000% more radiation than the previous 4G. It's going to give everybody cancer, but more than that, it's ultimate control of us, as we'll get into in a little bit, and everything's connected to the Internet of Things. And here you see how the build-out is going towards the acclaimed 5G in 2020, but it's already being installed in many areas around the world today. And it's all about Big Brother control, cyborging, transhumanism. And as I said, the only way to stop the madness is for people to rise up. Here's some flyers they made to stop it from passing in California, but that didn't make any difference. We have to stop them from installing them right now. Or if we don't, once they get the antennas up, they can add anything that they want. These are going to be 50 to 100 feet to 300 feet from everybody's homes. They're putting in millions of them with hundreds of tiny small cells in each box. It's going to be radiation central.
I'll pause it there. That was my out on that, is radiation central. Were you guys able to hear that at all?
Oh, yeah. So 2,000 times more radiation than the 4G, and the 5G system's already in place.
Can we take a baseball bat to these things? What? I mean, what do we need to do?
Well, that's they're starting to roll them out, I guess, in San Jose and other places. So let me just now jump to somebody who I think is the expert in this arena, which is Deborah Tavares, who I just interviewed. This is a clip from my interview that I just posted tonight at SGT Report on YouTube. It's called Kill Grid, 5G Networks and Frequency Warfare. Let me just play this clip here before we're out of time. This goes from the 6:30 mark in my interview to the 8:10 mark. So not quite 2 minutes, about a minute and a half. Here it comes.
They tell us that international, national, and California laws, because these are inserts in our bills, are unable to define whether the frequencies are safe or not safe. And this remains the circumstances of the findings to date. So they're telling us it is still uncertain. They use the word uncertainty. You can download this again at the top of stopthecrime.net. You're likely getting these in your bills. People do not read the inserts. We know that the evil doers are required, it's a code of ethics, that they must let us know what they're doing in advance. So what else is happening now? We've just found out recently that the World Health Organization has identified 5G as an addiction. Video gaming is now an addiction and a mental disorder. of which drugs are now going to be implemented, and this is going to be classified in the International Classification of Diseases, which is a publication that's due out this year. It's updated every so many years, and it will include gaming disorder as a serious health condition. And yet they're telling us that the 5G is necessary so we can connect to the Internet of Things. But yet it is addiction. But worse than that, this is elimination of people.
Okay, if you go on and listen to that entire interview, you discover that she firmly believes, and I guess I do too, I don't have any reason to doubt her at this point, given all of the other evidence I've already cited in this interview of the nature of these people who are targeting humanity. She believes 5G is a depopulation instrument, and that is what it will be used for ultimately. While they make money on us, because of course we need the internet, and the big bragging part here, I guess, the reason they're doing this, they say, is because we all need faster internet. I don't know about you guys, but my smartphone, which I despise, works just fine. My Wi-Fi at home works just fine. I don't need 5G. So what is really, really going on here? And why do they need to put these things 80, 100 feet outside of people's homes? These are going to be cooking devices. The frequencies that they're using, according to Deborah, are military in nature and anti-human in practice. These are not safe frequencies, which is probably why the FCC doesn't want any of the health studies done or any of the information from the studies that have been done to be released. Well, this coming to a neighborhood near you, by the way.
And this is something that, how do you fight against this when, it's being basically done covertly? Yes, you have people like yourself and others who are ringing the alarm and doing the research on this. We just got an email that says Rick Wiles has been talking about the 5G as well. And how do you fight this? It's going to take how long to prove that this is a cause of cancer? Just like, anything else the government does. They put out cigarettes 50 years later. Cigarettes now are bad and they cause cancer. You have to have warning labels on it. By the time we get to that point with 5G, from what I understand you're saying, it's going to be too late.
Well, all right, look, here's the other thing. First of all, I don't know how we fight this, short of getting into some sort of, look, I don't even want to say it on the air because you all can read between the lines what needs to happen if they put these things up and they're designed to kill people. They need to come down.
Absolutely.
So if we can't fight these things legally, and according to Deborah, this has all been fast-tracked. Even the city councils are in on it to the degree that they don't represent the people anymore. And even where these things have been fought by the people in California, up they go anyway. I don't know what the answer is, but you guys should get Deborah on as soon as possible. And if you gave her 3 hours, it would be, time well spent. Give her the whole show. But you guys remember the Deagle.com prediction, right?
Yep.
She's spoken with that founder of Deagle.com. That's no joke. They're estimating that by 2025, Deagle.com is projecting a U.S. population of 65 to 70 million people. Does anybody care to do the math on that? There's over 300 million people in this country now. And then he goes through in the Deagle.com stats, and he talks about what's happening in other countries. And the projections are not good here, folks. And I just want to say, again, thank God in heaven that Hillary, communist, Rothschild, Marxist, evil to the bone Clinton is not in the White House. Because if she would, all of this stuff would have been fast-tracked times 10, and I think those of us who are speaking truth would probably already have been rounded up. And by the way, Q has also spoken about that as it pertains to Hillary. If Hillary had won, ... hell on earth. And I recently did a video, The Enemy is Inside the Gates, in which I talk about the Weather Underground and the fact that they talked about rounding up 25 million Americans who couldn't be re-educated into the beauty of communism. Rounding those people out and exterminating them. This is on the record stuff. This is not tinfoil hat. This is not conspiracy theory. This is not Sean from SGTReport talking out of his ASS. This is hardcore quantifiable fact.
And we had Larry Grathwold on, who was a friend of the show.
Well, there you go. That's who I'm quoting. That was Larry Grathwold.
One of his last interviews. Yep.
So that's what's happening here. And this 5G network, I'm not saying this is the master plan. I'm not saying this is the coup d'etat. I'm not saying this is the only thing they're targeting us with, but it's a damn important thing that we all need to be focusing on and asking why they're doing this if we know it has the potential to hurt us. Why are they doing it?
Well said. Sean, we are so interested in your investigative work, your investigative findings. Please, let's drive home the point where they can find your intellectual work products, your investigative reports.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, you guys. And I just want to say this. There's another important piece of information shared in that Deborah interview on my channel. It's titled Kill Grid 5G Networks. You'll find it at SGT Report on YouTube. Go to 1756 in that interview and learn about Cinemix. What is Cinemix? It is a sweetener. Cinemix, by the way, is the name of the company, who makes a sweetener used in, you won't even believe how many products this is used in already, that contains the aborted fetal tissue of babies. So that now they're feeding ourselves to us. And if you know anything about mad cow disease, it's not great for our brains. So learn about that. Go to my video, watch it, the point 17 minutes, 56 seconds in, learn about Cinemex. You guys can find me at sgtreport.com. You can find me on YouTube as SGT Report. You can find me on Twitter at SGT Report. And please check out my sister sites, thephaser.com and thelibertymill.com. And I want to thank you guys for all you do.
Man, I'm going to tell you something, Sean. Your time with us is always too short. You're just an incredible wealth of information. We do have, I was looking at the clock, we do have about 2 minutes left, but about the Hillary Clinton, and I know it's jumping around here and I apologize, but Hillary Clinton, New York City. Look, I spoke with a member of the task force. I went in and saw what you referenced. Your thoughts on perhaps if and when this information might come out, based on Q as well as the other stuff?
Well, I follow Jerome Corsi closely, and he believes this will all really be wrapped up between now and November. But look, do you guys remember this wonderful speech by Dana Lash at CPAC this year?
Yep.
In which she dismantled the NRA, and she talked. I was so proud of her, and she was so passionate, and she's so smart and on point. And she said, we will not be gaslighted into believing that what happened in Parkland is our fault because the background checks aren't being done, because states aren't doing their job, because the FBI dropped the ball, blah, blah, blah. We will not be gaslighted into believing we're crazy about Pizzagate and Pedogate when we read the WikiLeaks John Podesta emails, and when we know about the Clinton Foundation child trafficking, and when we have heard that the NYPD themselves has seen video so horrific it brought grown men to tears in New York City, NYPD, on that Wiener laptop. So we will not be gaslighted into believing that we're crazy and that all of this is easily dismissed, because you'll now see that the mainstream media targets this Q conversation, suggesting we're all nuts.
Right.
Pizzagate, we're all nuts. Clinton treason, we're all nuts. Uranium One, no problem. Clinton private server in Chappaqua, no problem. We're nuts. Mueller won't talk to Kim.com, we're nuts. We are not nuts. We are the sane among us. And if you hear anger and sadness in my voice tonight, it's because I am sane. It would be a lot easier to have my head in the sand. And so when they're going to release that video, I don't know, guys, but I pray to God they do it, because those of us who have been telling the truth and know how horrific these satanic human beings are that are targeting us, we really need that video to be released, because hopefully it will wake up the rest of the population in droves.
Yes, it would,
and
if it is there and if it is released.
And it is there.
Sean from SGT Report. Go to YouTube, subscribe to SGT Report, or find him on Twitter at SGT Report. Sean, you keep up the great work and the great research product. We thank you so much for taking the time out to join us tonight.
Doug, Joe, thank you so much, too. God bless.
Hey, hug your children for us, okay?
God bless you, too.
Amen. Yeah.
All right.
That'll do it for us tonight. Until tomorrow, have a great evening.
What a matchup!
And what a team, Mike. Metro PCS and the iPhone SE for $0 on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Oh, impressive.
Play with the best. Switch to Metro PCS on an unlimited LTE plan and get a 32-gig iPhone SE for $0. Metro PCS. Coverage not available in some areas, plus sales tax. Claim based on talk and text. Not valid for active numbers currently on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS in the past 90 days. See store for details and terms and conditions. a matchup.
And what a team, Mike. Metro PCS and the iPhone SE for $0 on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Oh, impressive.
Play with the best. Switch to Metro PCS on an unlimited LTE plan and get a 32-gig iPhone SE for $0. Metro PCS. Coverage not available in some areas, plus sales tax. Claim based on talk and text. Not valid for active numbers currently on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS.